right, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, fishing accomplices, good morning and welcome back to fishing. So it is October 12th right now, opening weekend of TOG fishing, and we got a windy one. It looks beautiful out, but there's some stiff northwest winds coming out. Right now it's probably at like 12, 13 knots, potentially gust up to like 15, 16. But I really want to fish today, so we're gonna give it the old college try. Last year I did quite a bit of fishing in the opening days of TOG season, but I didn't really quite get what I wanted, and a lot of it was fishing here. Got a lot of sea bass and porgies, but keeper TOG were tough for me to come by. I think a lot of the first wave of them were picked off by the time I got in, but I'm only saying that because this isn't my first choice where I want to fish, but I think it's really the only place that is really fishable for the way I'm fishing. Somewhat sheltered from this wind, so we're going to try and make the most of it. I'm going to be fishing short crabs today on very light jigs. Fishing fairly shallow too. I'm thinking no more than like 20 feet of water because I'm going to be hunting the shore. But if things do go well, I might even try and, go a little deeper if I can. Some sea bass around, because I do know they do start to come in as these waters cool. I brought some squid and some jigs for that, but really TOG is the target. We might encounter some porgies, and I'm not going to be picky today, so I'll take whatever I can get. I've got all day, and that is all I really got to say. So thank you for tuning in, and with a little luck, I'm hoping to get some solid fishing accomplished. All right, it is breezy, but fortunately the wind and tide are kind of working together, so anchoring won't be as hazardous. I have not anchored since, gosh, April, late April, so let's see if we still got it. There's definitely some life here. Always wait till I get in the water to start cutting these things up, because you want to build that bite up, get those fish attracted. So I'm throwing all the pieces overboard, having a bunch ready, not too many, but enough to, if I get some bites, quickly re-up the stuff. And I'm throwing the pieces up high so they fall closer to me. We're pretty shallow right now, like 15 feet, so these things will get down. We're gonna start off as light as we can. We got like a 3/8 ounce bottom sweeper jig. I'm gonna experiment with a couple jigs today, but let's start with this because it's already on this from some of our porgy time action. I believe I've got a 20-pound test on this and at least a 25-pound test leader. It always starts off slow, but you keep fishing, you can build that bite up. Get those fish investigating, and as the smaller ones, get the attention, the bigger ones will move in. And we're in. Alright, that's the right species. First autumn TOG that's in season, but he's far too small. A bit better. Alright. Not as worried about snapping the leader today because this is heavier, and I did put it through some stress tests, which I should have done when I was sea bass fishing last weekend, but whatever. That's better. Not a bad short. That's like a 13, 14 incher, which is what we do want to see if we're going to get shorts. And it's a male, so that's good. That's a better one. On that tiny piece. That's a much better one. Jeez. Porgy. Take them. Told you there'd be porgies here. Get a quick measure. If he's over, if he's 13, got no problems with porgies, keeping them, but I'd like to get something a little bigger if I'm going to keep them. Like, let's start with the 13 or 14 incher, and then we'll go from there. Nice porgy. There's a better one. Much better one. That'll be kind of close. I don't think so, but maybe. Worth a measure. Fat hen. It's probably like 15 if I had to guess. I don't think he's going to make it. Very chunky. Just sitting on it. Another nice female. This one needs to be bigger than the last one. Choked it. Jeez. Okay, we're getting plenty of bites right now. Nothing big yet, but I'm going to try with my other setup, my Stratic, which I put 15-pound test on. And one of my subscribers, very kind, and asked me to check out some of his jigs that he's making. J&C tackle. I'm not getting paid for this. Very kind gesture, and yeah, I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in checking these out. But yeah, his jigs look really nice, so I'll give these a shot, see how they do. Same idea, maybe a slightly longer shank, so let's see how these do with these TOG. Okay, J&C jigs. I'm excited. These are certainly a longer shank. Let's see how they do. Well, these J&C jigs are certainly working. What happened to this guy? That's the sound of getting spined.
So I omitted a lot of footage from this first area. I got a lot of small TOG and porgies, and it just was too much to have to deal with editing through it. It's just very monotonous and repetitive. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. But yeah, I was being a bit more conservative to start things off on this day just because it was windy and my first time anchoring in a little while. So I wanted to just get a feel for how things were going to go. And again, just tons of small TOG, but nothing all that big. You know, a few that were close, but not quite. So after a little while of, just doing this over and over and over again, I decided to make a move to some deeper submerged structure.
Okay, we just gave that first spot quite an effort, maybe even too much. Like, we were there for at least about 70 to 90 minutes for the most part. You had to re-anchor at one point. Plenty of action, just not the right action. So We're gonna try another spot. This whole general area seems pretty sheltered from the wind, so that's a good thing. But see if we can find a piece that maybe hasn't been completely assaulted from yesterday and still has some nicer fish on it, because that spot is a known spot, let's just say. So I got a few little points that I think are worth checking out. I'm gonna drop an anchor, try a few crabs, and see if there's anything doing there. Sometimes when I tog fish, I'll be very fortunate. The first spot will be the spot that I stick to the entire session, but it already appears today is not that kind of day. So we're on our second spot. We just anchored up. I'm gonna cut up 4 crabs just to put a little bit of chum in the water. And we're just gonna be patient. Like, I don't expect it to be a red hot bite. Probably better actually if it isn't. We just want to see if there's any life here. All we need is a few fish biting to attract others to really make this turn up. So 4 crabs, chum the legs, chum the claws, and the tops of the shells. And then we're gonna drop our bait down and just see if there's anybody interested. We'll give it maybe 15-ish minutes tops, and if we don't get a solid bite by then we make a move to our next spot. Okay, second spot, first drop. Let's see if anybody is home. There should be something, just whether it's enough. Getting bit right now. Feels very, very small. As I said, that first initial wave of bites will be probably smaller fish. It's what's still around 10-15 minutes after that that counts the most, I find, and a lot of people find. It's not just my opinion. That's a better one. Worth a net. Got that one. It's close. Think I'll make it. Yeah, that's a keeper. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. October is begun. Oh man, he freighted me up good. Yeah, that's a nice one. That's an easy keeper. It's probably like a 17-incher. But before we string them up, let's just make it official, because these fish will fool you. They're so fat like this. Yeah, what I say, just a hair under 17. 17, just a hair under. Alright. Took me a while to get a keeper tog last year, but we're getting them pretty early this year. It's nice. Cool colors too, look at all that orange. Alright. Let's get him bled out, strung up, and probably have to change our jig after this because he frayed up that line pretty good. All right, first keeper tog of the fall season, and it's time to celebrate with Waterloo. And we've done Waterloo a few times. This one, they really went all out for the design. Maybe this was like a July 4th special edition. I got this can actually from my boss at work. He offered me a seltzer. I doubt he knew that I was going to use it like this, but if you're watching, thank you for the seltzer, and cheers to that first fish. Summer berry, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of berry flavor in this. I'm not the biggest berry flavor seltzer guys, if you've been watching this, but this is hitting the spot right now. Irony of drinking a summer flavor as we're deep into autumn now, but yeah, that's pretty good. That's an easy, let's say 8, just straight 8. It is a little frayed, but I'm testing it. I'm pulling it hard. Yeah, we're gonna retie. Don't want to mess around because these fish do know how to get unhooked. Didn't take long to find that keeper. So, and it's a male, which typically they are the ones that hang out in more numbers. So let's get it back down. Fishing the same piece of crab that fish had in his mouth. Let's see if we can get another. ones here. No, 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 no. You go out. Oh, yeah. That's a better one. Not that big. Not bad, though. Nice male. See, these are the kind of shorts that are okay to catch. Alright, I gotta be very careful. As I was chumming up crab, I got a piece of crab just on the lid of my seltzer. Earlier I got seltzer in my bin of crabs, and now I almost got crab inside of my seltzer, which would not be fun, so yeah, I'm gonna not let that happen. But if it's the price to pay for a keeper tog, then so be it. This might be a toadfish. Not doing, yeah, what'd I tell you? Called that. Called that. Such a strange creature. Never noticed how weird these fins at the bottom are too, these little guys. Boy, that's a better one. I'll keep that one. That's a better porgy. He'll come home. Round out that tog for dinner if we get nothing else. Yeah, 13. That's a good one. Good fish. There we go. That's a good one. That's a nice fish. Whew. Knew that had to be something like that down there. Very fat. What a donkey. He's not huge, but he is so chunky. Just about 17-incher. Which is perfect for me. That is one very malnourished tog. Look at that thing. He is so skinny. Oh my gosh. You need crabs, buddy. You need to like eat a ton. Cultivate some mass. Sorry, buddy. That's not a bad one. Won't keep, but it's not bad. That was on the smallest piece of crab. And I'll take another porgy. Cleaning fish, might as well. This could be my lunch or dinner at one point this week since we're riding solo. Where is a keeper? Yep, why not? Alright, we're putting these fish away. I'm gonna make at least one more significant move with the anchor. We're gonna move fairly far away just to get on some fresh fish that maybe haven't been attracted elsewhere, but this spot's drying up, so it's time to move. Okay, new spot. This spot's been very hit or miss for me in the past. This is one of the few spots I have pulled legal sea bass in this area. Let's see if there's anything around. I'm not seeing a ton of life down there, but they like to hide until you start getting them fired up. That's a nice first fish. Not a bad start. Better than what we left behind. At least the state it was in. That one. Nice fish over here. Not a bad fish at all. 14, 15 incher. Hear that, folks? It's TOG o'clock. See if you can round out one more keeper. That might be it. That might be it. I think so. Nice, but not quite. Let's stay out of there now. Get out. Get out. It's a nice one. Worth the measure. Say 15. Yeah, almost 15 and a half. Oh, man, that's a good fish. Oh my God. Jeez. No. Oh my God. That was a big fish. Snap me. Just lost a giant in the last one, so here's some big fish over here. I don't know if it was a TOG, it could have been a bass, I don't know, but it was big, whatever that was. Rubbed up against some rocks. Alright, well, looks like I'm on my last few crabs, so looks like my choice of switching to jigging squid is made for me, but let's see if we can finish strong with what we got left. Still having nightmares about that fish that I lost. That was something gigantic. If that was a TOG, that was easily my PB. Not that I've caught a lot of huge TOG, but God, that thing was big, whatever it was. Try a few bigger crabs. That might be our keeper, if nothing else. It's got nothing on that fish we lost, but I'll take it. That'll be our limit. I think. It's close. I think I'll make it. Oh, so close. It's like 15 3/4. Oh, he lucked out.
Yeah, so after that fish, I had a few more crabs left, and I eventually just ran out and didn't get anything any bigger than that fish. No keepers or nothing. And just for the heck of it, since I left the fish kind of biting really well, I did have some squid, and I decided to drop that down. And actually, that didn't do terrible either. I mean, it didn't do great, but I was surprised that, some of the TOG were even going for it.
Just for the heck of it, let's see if there's anything down there that wants to eat squid while we got a bite kind of built under us. I don't think these TOG will eat it, but won't know unless we try. Oh, what do you know? TOG went for it. TOG on squid.
Yeah, while I was able to get a few TOG on the squid, they were all on the smaller side, and I'm pretty sure they were only biting it because they were already fired up from all the crabs I was dropping. And more than anything, I was getting porgies. So after a while, I did try to see if I can find some sea bass on some rocks, but wasn't really doing. Plus, the wind was just making it really sloppy to work any of the deeper stuff. So after some futile efforts, I eventually called it.
Alright, that's going to have to do it for today. Try messing around, see if I can find some sea bass. But between the wind and just kind of getting tired not having the trolling motor, I'm going to probably just call it here. Yeah, it was a pretty good opener, for the Western Sound. Could have been phenomenal if it was good. This is a pretty good opener. I can't complain. I got those 2 keeper TOG. lot of close shorts. What would have really done it is if I had got that one fish that snapped us off. I mean, that was a big fish. I've gotten some nice tog in my day, 6-ish pounds. Again, it's not huge, but this fish was at least that big, if not bigger. That thing, it was like it was hooked at the bottom and it was just continuously pulling. Could have been a bass, I don't know. Maybe I should have been fishing 40-pound test leader. Also don't know, but whatever. It's just nice to know there's fish like that around. So yeah, I guess the big takeaway here was just fishing those light jigs, and towards the end too, fishing the larger pieces of crab really kind of helped as well. But as they always say, if you're not getting any decent sized fish after probably 30 or 40 minutes, and that's being very generous, it's time to move on. So we were kind of hampered down by these conditions, and honestly it's not so bad. We're fairly sheltered, just more of a nuisance than anything. But yeah, just best not to get sucked into a spot if it's not going to yield anything big. So live and learn, I suppose. But good time overall. I hope you enjoyed. Catch you in the next one. Goodbye from Fishin'.